Why, hello, cool cats and kittens. I understand someone's already taken that, but it's so good. I just need to repeat it. If you hear weird licking sounds, that is not me. That is my dog, and she is licking her chops because I just gave her a Cheez-It. I had to get some snacks. I need some milk. Okay. So, the Murdoch Murders podcast, which my friend Nikki has so kindly succumbed to my annoying, nagging suggestions on covering this topic. It refers to solicitors in South Carolina. And as a resident of South Carolina, I should probably know what that is. And I don't. And then I found out that they are elected. So I was like, oh, like, am I supposed to be voting for that? So, yeah, I wanted to find out some more information because I embarrassingly don't know. And through Mandy Matney's investigation of the story of the Murdochs and all the spiderweb stories that come off of it, and again, being a resident of South Carolina, I really wanted to educate myself out of necessity. Probably should know these things anyway, but definitely now so that she is revealing corruption all throughout the state, naming names, and it's important to know so I can vote accordingly. I believe they have 4-year terms. Here, I'll pull up some information on that. And I think it helps people follow along too if you do follow the Murdoch Murders podcast, which you should. And you should follow what's that girl's name? Nikki? Yeah, I think that's her name. When she does cover the Murdoch murders again. I believe she's got some stuff going on right now, you know? Life is life. YouTube is not life. Well, at least not for some of us. Oh, let me put the link. So yes, the Murdoch Murders podcast is an excellent source for getting correct information about the Murdoch family and everything that's ensued since kind of the catalyst to people investigating them, which is the boat crash. I believe it was in 2019. Where unfortunately a young girl, Mallory Beach, passed. And I mean, you'll just have to listen to. There's too much. Hi, Sue Elliott. How are you? Happy Mother's Day. And happy Mother's Day to everyone out there, fur babies, inherited children, husbands who act like children. Happy belated Mother's Day, everyone. I got to take a nap yesterday, so that was awesome. Like, really long nap. I surprised myself with how long I slept. But Mandy now on the website for the Murdoch Murders podcast. So when she first started out, it was in order of things that were unfolding as she reported on them. Now she still does that. She still does podcast the topic is according to what indictments are. I don't know. What's the verb for it? What indictments are being given? Oh, let me put your. Sue Elliott says we went to a baseball game in Seattle. It was a great day. I'm glad you had such a good day. I have been to Seattle twice, and I absolutely loved it. Yes, I went to the very first Starbucks Pike Place Market. That place is so cool. Went to see the troll under the bridge. I can't remember all the other things we did, but I absolutely love Seattle. It's so beautiful. And one day I kind of want to go to Portland, but I'm a little afraid to. It just seems incredibly weird, maybe even too weird for me, but I've kind of heard it's like being stuck in the 90s, and I'm stuck in the 90s, so it'll be a great fit. But yes, I love Seattle. Anyhow, Mandy now on her website has like playlist, so you can follow each topic. Say you want to follow just listen to the podcast episodes that are covering the boat crash. You can just listen to those instead of jumping around so much. Yep, she's got it listed. In fact, let me see if I can share my screen. I'm sure that I can. Sue says we have a beautiful state. Portland is pretty crazy now. That's unfortunate that it's crazy. Not that you have a beautiful state. That's very fortunate. All right, let me see. Share screen. Which screen are we going to share? Oh, there we are. See how it looks. Okay. So if you scroll down on her website, again, it has different playlists because these were done out of chronological order. Again, it was originally recorded in how it was happening day to day. But there's a playlist, Who Killed oh my gosh, not Kevin Smith. Who Killed Stephen Smith? What Happened to Gloria Satterfield? The Good Old Boys and the system that supports them. It's what I've been very interested in because it affects my life. I do not live near them. However, it doesn't really matter. I live in the upstate of South Carolina, and it's all relative. The cases against Alex Murdaugh. Gosh, that has to be a bit. Yeah, look at that shit. There's 19 episodes and counting. Okay, Duggars, what? Alex Murdaugh, freaking court cases. Who Killed Mallory Beach? Who Killed Maggie and Paul, which are Alex's wife and son. Paul was the one who was seemed to be responsible, and I'm saying seem because I don't want to be sued, for the boat crash where Mallory Beach passed, unfortunately. And that seems to be it for now. But that kind of helps follow along. I love South Carolina also. Went there in 2020. My best friend moved there. Oh, cool. Well, if you ever come back here, you should give me a ring. Pretty much everywhere is maybe like at least 3 to 4 hours. South Carolina's not that big. Well, unless you go to Myrtle Beach. I may not come to visit you there, but maybe I would because you're pretty cool. But I would complain about it for sure. So, not visiting you, just driving to Myrtle Beach. It's kind of like, it's a little trashy in my opinion. It's a little trashy. Hi, Reagan. Good luck on your final. Oh, cool. You'll be there next May. Awesome. Let's see. Okay. So, and educating myself. Sorry, I'm trying to keep forgetting to share my screen. And I'm sorry. The clicking that I do annoys me when I listen back to things sometimes. I don't always listen because I find myself to be very annoying, but I do at times to make sure things sound well, and I find the clicking annoying. But I'm not using a mouse right now. Okay, so what is a circuit solicitor? For, those of you who don't know. It's definitely not me. So this is, I like to give my information. The website, South Carolina Commission on Prosecution Coordination, is where I'm getting my information. They say the South Carolina Circuit Solicitor is an elected official who is responsible for overseeing the prosecution of criminal cases in South Carolina. Other states refer to the same position as the district attorney. And that's where I was getting a little bit confused because I'd heard of a district attorney before. Solicitor, I know I had heard of it, but I didn't understand that it was the same thing as other states' district attorneys. And again, how long have I lived here? That's really kind of unfortunate that I didn't educate myself. However, we're going to move forward, move on, and we're going to get these jerks out of office. All of them. Out of doctors' offices, court offices, political offices. All right, so it says this, the circuit solicitor ensures prosecutions are processed by organizing an orderly, just, and efficient flow of cases, assigning cases to attorneys, advising attorneys on the cases assigned, monitoring the status of pending cases, and supervising personnel. They also, down at the bottom, it explains they handle programs that are out of court in terms of like pretrial intervention, things that give people a second chance to not have things on their record, that they oversee those programs as well. Traffic education, yada, yada. So in 1868, the South Carolina Constitution established one solicitor for each judicial circuit, elected by electors of the particular circuit for a term of 4 years. Today, South Carolina has 16 apparently I can't say judicial very well, 16 judicial circuits, and each circuit has its own elected circuit solicitor. Seashells by the seashore. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Each circuit is comprised of 2 to 5 counties. And I believe that's where things can get a little confusing. At least they did for me, for when the Murdaugh family, like his dad and granddad were solicitors, because it was over more than Hampton County. I think, as this is saying, it can be 1 up to 5 different counties that they can be solicitors of. Which, if we've got people who don't follow the law, who are supposed to be holding people accountable to the law, that's a bigger area of corruption, even though it's 1 solicitor. The office of circuit solicitor is a constitutional office, and each solicitor is elected by the voters within the respective circuit for a term of 4 years. And again, I guess the good that has come out of this is I do now understand that there is an election for solicitors this year in November. So I will be paying more attention to that along the way. Reagan says, thanks, guys. Hopefully I can make it through without going into tears because I have nerves in my back. Yeah, I am so sorry, Reagan. You will do well. I know you will. And I can remember that sinking pit in the stomach before taking exams. I pray that the nerves will work in your favor today. And we will be supporting you now, during, and after. So we've got you. May not have your grades, okay? Can't do anything about that, but I won't have to because it's going to be amazing. You've got this. So that kind of explains what a solicitor is and the importance that kind of, let me see, Bowen Turner. So a few weeks ago, Manny Matney also covered in her podcast, she kind of stopped reporting on the Murdoch saga and brought up a new issue. It's kind of along the same lines. It's a state senator that helped get a teenage boy on lesser charges or none at all for cases he was brought to with alleged RAPE. And I believe this kid's one of his family members is a solicitor over Orange Book. Ugh, my goodness, I'm so sorry. Let me hold this up. Pardon. I believe Bowen Turner's relative is a solicitor of Orangeburg County. But I can look and see. It's relevant too because the harassment that one of the alleged victims of his received from the town, from the townspeople, from grown adults, unfortunately was so great that she felt as though the only way to escape the harassment pressure was to end her life. And now, mind you, this kid has been on some sort of house arrest, but has managed to violate the terms of that house arrest somewhere in the tune of 50 times. So this is something I am very sorry, I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. It's not working. Something that I'm very interested in. Let me go and see if I have any new comments. Aw, Reagan says, you just reminded me of the TikTok where it says no one's better than an online friend. We get you, man. Hey, Suzanne. Yeah, something that isn't Johnny Depp, Amber Heard related. I have to say, I was a little disappointed that I didn't know the trial wasn't going to resume until the 16th. I'm so looking forward to her cross-examination, though. How far am I from West Columbia? I'm about 2.5 hours, depending upon what part of Columbia. We just went down there a few months ago. We took our kids to the Riverbanks Zoo. Well, my husband had been, but I had never been before. Okay, so the Bowen Turner case. Let's just go to Fitz News because they have the greatest information on it. And again, Fitz News is a news outlet that Mandy Matney, the creator of the Murdoch Murders podcast, I believe she's executive director. Anyway, she works for Fitz News as well. They kind of go off each other. Let's see if I can share information. Okay. This is from fitznews.com. I will put the link in the stream also. Nikki says, you better. Wait, the case you're talking about where the girl unalived herself are the new Murdoch Murders podcast episodes? Yes. Let me pull it back up. This was about 2 to 3 weeks ago. Let me change sharing screens. This. And, oh, I didn't want to get rid of it forever. Murdoch Murders podcast. There we go. There we go. Okay, let me see if I can find. Oh, just click on episodes. That would probably be it. That would probably be where the episodes are. Let's see. Oh. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Making things all fancy. Here it is. Does it say what number it is? I'm not. Oh, episode 40. It was posted on April 13th, 2022. That is something that can be a standalone episode. Again, it has nothing to do with the Murdoch murder saga. However, it is pertaining again to the corruption of our senators and solicitors and the good old boy system that is here. So let me put this back in the oh honey, there are so many rabbit holes. There are so many rabbit holes. So many rabbit holes. It's funny because I think it was my 3rd grade teacher, whenever we were all getting kind of off topic or something, she's like, all right, we're chasing rabbits again. Let's focus. We don't want to go off chasing too many rabbits. Okay, I apologize. This is not very it's not very streamlined. Boop, boop. So again, this is from Fitz News, and it is written by Liz Sparrow. She's Mandy Matney's best friend. She also now helps with the podcast as well, and writes for Fitz News. Hold on one second. Hopefully that muted because okay. So Orangeburg County is kind of the middle-ish of the state. Columbia is like at the very center. It's our capital, and there's some counties and cities kind of like encircling it. I'm sorry for my constant swallowing. I don't know when I talk on here, just blah, 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 blah. You're welcome. Where is the original? Okay, I'll read from here. And sorry if you hear my stomach making noises. In August 2019, Turner was already awaiting trial on a January 2019 charge of sexually assaulting another girl in Bamberg County in October of the previous year. At that time, he already stood accused of sexually assaulting yet another girl in Calhoun County 6 months earlier. 3 accusations, 3 girls, 3 different counties. It is not yet known how many more bond violations might have occurred prior to November, but it would not come as a surprise to find out that Pasco will seek to expose the full scope of Turner's GPS movements. So this is Bowen Turner. I don't know if that's Senator Hutto, who's also an attorney, and I don't know if that's something that's unique to South Carolina as well, that our senators, even though they are currently in office, get to continue practicing law. I feel like that kind of shouldn't be. Just maybe even for time efficiency. And I'm sorry, my stomach is just like, roar. I'm not hungry. It's just digesting my food. But I remember a pretty famous, infamous, whatever trial that was going on here over the ownership of churches after it got handed over to from one pastor to another. And one pastor had hired a senator to be his attorney and represent him. And the trial kept getting delayed because the senator had senator things to do. So that just doesn't seem effective at the very least. I gotta start like downing some honey before I talk on here. Again, I'm trying to find like the original story. Okay. Earlier this month, the Bowen Turner case drew international attention and outrage when Turner was allowed to plead guilty to a single charge of first-degree assault and battery, for which he was sentenced to 5 years of probation without having to register as a sex offender. Many saw Turner's deal as a bought and paid for outcome, one attainable solely because of who Turner hired to represent him, State Senator Brad Hutto. South Carolina's judicial system can work exponentially better for those who are able to hire attorneys who also serve as legislators. In other words, those who can afford the hefty price tag. I agree. In this state, legislators choose the circuit court judges and magistrates. That's another thing that I did not realize. I don't know what we have to do in this state to make that not the way it happens anymore. But the way that at least national government is set up with so many checks and balances, so you don't have situations like this. So you always have someone checking the other person's back, making sure they're not doing corrupt things. Now, whether or not they choose to do that is a different story, but at least there's a system like that in place. How in the world, this is just a popularity contest, and hey, I know you, hey, let's do shady deals like purchase nursing homes, and I don't know, maybe if patients die that you happen to be representing, we'll just take the money. Like, what? True story. Listen to the Murdoch Murders podcast. New episode every Wednesday. So, as a result, legislator attorneys who already have unique access to information and seats of power that private attorneys might not have wield an outsized amount of influence in the courtroom. In Turner's case, here's how this shook out as it relates to the strict conditions of his bond. After his second arrest for first-degree criminal sexual conduct in July 2019, Turner was denied bond. For his 17th birthday, though, Turner received a gift from a second judge. Hutto successfully argued that because of his birthday, who was being tried as an adult on the 2 charges, would now be moved from the Department of Juvenile Justice to the Orangeburg County Detention Center, according to the Times and Democrat. The judge agreed to free Turner, but imposed numerous strict conditions. Don't go over there. You can go to Chuck E. Cheese, but don't touch anybody. Included in those terms were $100,000 surety bond, home detention, and GPS monitoring. Turner was only permitted to leave his grandmother's house between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. I mean, okay. For attorney visits, court appearances, mental health counseling, and medical emergencies. He was not allowed to visit golf courses, the mall, the graves of girls he was accused of sexually assaulting. He did that. State of Georgia or car dealerships. So, yeah. He violated so many times. I believe in the case, and I'll have to give the exact quote. So oh, there's an ad for him. He's representing the family Hakeem, I think. Anyway, so basically, Bowen is accused of sexually assaulting a girl named Dallas. She's the one that ended her life. And he violated his house arrest by going and visiting her grave. Seriously. You cannot make that stuff up. It is just freaking disgusting. Let's see. Hey, Just Bill, you still haven't showed me your skeletons, man. Maybe that's because they're dead bodies? Not quite sure about that. Laughs in Louisiana, not as far as I'm not familiar. And points to Edwin Edwards, the governor spending state funds in Las Vegas as T-Fong. Wow. Yeah. Or kind of like a director of a special needs preschool who uses the funds for his own political agenda. I wonder if that's ever happened. Oh, we scrolled all the way up. Sue Elliott, more smiler face, killer stuff, and another young male went missing this weekend. Aw, it sounds like it's connected, so they are checking the bodies of water. Oh my goodness. And yes, again, I've kind of like accosted this topic. I didn't mean to talk about the podcast so much. I just really wanted to educate myself on what a solicitor was. And so there you go. But Nikki will. God, like how loud does my stomach sound? I am so freaking sorry. That is just annoying. It's like when you're in a freaking library or taking a test. Reagan, I hope your stomach doesn't growl during your exam. If it does, just know we're stomach growling besties. Yeah, Meg has been a great help, especially when I was worried about the hubs and called her in the middle of the night. BFF said her nurses are bonus. Meg is super cool that way. And again, hoping that your husband continues to do well. Yes, it's a political Mean Girls lunch table. Yeah. Suzanne says, wow, shocked that your South Carolina politics is every bit as corrupt as Louisiana. I mean, hey, it's the dirty, you know? I really think this goes back to families who owned people and their ways of now it's a modern day way of being able to still force people to do what they want. Maybe or maybe not be responsible for the deaths of people. Have free labor and have all their friends look out for them. It's absolutely insane. You got corruption crazies too? Man. Louisiana politics is the best politicians money can buy. Yeah, I betcha. Absolutely goes back to slavery times and moolah. I've kind of wanted to research that because that just kind of goes right up my alley with history and then tying it to modern day situations, but I'm also a little afraid because look at all Alec Murdoch and his family has been able, and his friends, honestly, more than his family, has been able to get away with. Someone passing on life support without anyone noticing, and the alarm for said life support not being on, and Alec and or his friends being their representative and financially benefiting from that passing. I don't know. I want to report on it, but it might be some anonymous YouTube account that comes up with like a voice altering thing or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of crazy to control that. Don't say narrative. Those are not words that are allowed here. Not allowed. So Nikki's going to have a lot to cover the next time we get to talk about this podcast. You guys should really catch up. Again, I think she's going to start with Mallory Beach, that story. Because again, at least that's what I've suggested. That's what I've told her to do. I'm controlling the narrative. It again, at least around here, it is the catalyst to everything. To people, specifically Mandy Matney, investigating this family. And opening the spider web that is the good old boys in South Carolina. That's the part where we all, as South Carolinians, kind of came into the story as far as knowing about it and it being on our radar. So I think it's a good place to start for everyone else. And again, I think it's great that Andy has kind of collectively put these episodes in places according to topic. So let me once again kind of share. Let's share this. Is that? No, I don't want to share that. Remove. Stop screen, share screen. Why do I have to do all that, man? So, where she will be starting out is if you listen to these 3 episodes right here. Who Killed Mallory Beach? That will give you a good introduction to all the players, so to speak. That will give you a good introduction to how most of us were introduced to this family. Just 3 episodes. And I do have to say, I think especially the first one, I just like to give people a warning, even though I think it does kind of hurt her feelings. Mandy Matney had a really horrible vocal fry in the first maybe 5 episodes of her podcast. She does get better. She will even sit there and say, I can't help it. But it seems like she's had some vocal training or vocal tips. It gets better. So just a little FYI for you there. Hold on. It gets better. What is that? Just don't use Microsoft Sam or people will think you're Bobby. What the hell is Microsoft Sam? I know who Bobby is. Where has Bobby been? Has anybody seen Meow Meow Kitty Kitty? I haven't really been on the internet this weekend. But no more Bobby accusations. Suzanne, you're not Bobby? I thought you were Bobby. I'm just kidding. Rumors. Yes, thank you for putting the link in. I like the robot cat idea myself. Keep it a secret. All right, I'm going to skedaddle because I have to. Children need to be picked up from their escuelas, and I need to go get them. I like him when he's not having a nervous breakdown. Yeah, I agree. I think we've all been due for a nervous breakdown on here on the YouTube streets. It just, I think sometimes if we're not careful and don't kind of go out and get some fresh air, it can really start to affect us. I'm not going to say I'm never going to have one because never say never. Except for now. I will never see you again. I'm just kidding. All right. That's it. Thank you for painfully listening to me try to figure out what a solicitor was and how they are elected. I will be paying attention to the candidates for it for voting this November. You stayed away this weekend too, yeah. Yes, fresh air, touch grass, smoke the grass, whatever floats your boat. I think more people on here need to smoke grass. Maybe they chill the poop out. All right, guys, thank you for being here. It was nice chatting with you. And I'll talk to you guys whenever. Okay? Okay. Bye-bye.